Welcome to the Patty Show. My name is Patty Setiatti, and in this podcast, we'll explore the crossing point of the three P's: passion, pleasure, and positivity, and how they can lead you to your own personal paradise. We'll chat with inspiring guests, share practical tips, and dive into stories that will empower you to live your best life. Let's get the Patty Party started. Welcome back to the Patty Show, everybody. Woo! Yeah. Oh my goodness. Studio audience, thank you for the energy. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Season 3, episode 26, y'all. Crazy. Positivity, unlocking a more optimistic you. I'm your host, y'all, Patty Setiatti. Thanks for tuning in today. Welcome back again to the Patty Show. On this episode, we're going to explore how to unlock a more optimistic mindset. Yes, optimism and positivity. But before that, we're going to recap the last episode, episode 25. It's crazy. The number now it's like 20 plus. I'm like, I can't remember all the numbers now at this point. I feel like I'm playing a game. Thank you, my brother Eric Chen, CEO, entrepreneur of Sabotage. If you guys know that board game, he's the entrepreneur for that. Great game, not just because he hooked me up and my family, but bro, I appreciate your advice. You're like an older brother to me. Thanks for being so great on the game show. That's where I met him. So man, much love to you. Enjoy your time in Vietnam for your wedding, and arigato, my man, arigato. And today I also have a special guest. She doesn't play any games. All right. Episode 26, season 3. All the stops. Joining me is an OG right here. Okay. She is the Indonesian Princess. Oh, Indonesian Princess. Yes. She is killing it in the acting game right now. 5+ years consistently. She brings the good vibes and dance moves. We got to talk about that eventually. And wherever she goes, always good energy from the beginning. Give it up for Amelia.
Thank you.
Arigato, all that stuff. Oh, yes. Arigato.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih. Look, see, she does. Indonesian Princess.
Indonesian Princess.
That's what I told y'all. Amelia, thanks for coming today. It's been a while. Oh, thank you. It's been a while since we saw each other, but could you just give a little self-intro to everyone, a little bit about your background, life story, passions, career, and eventually, how we met? The floor is yours.
Well, thank you for having me. My name is Amelia Heidy. I'm an actor,
dancer.
And there's some point I was a business owner.
Well, business owner, multi-hyphenated. That's what happens in LA, y'all. There we go. Business owner. Okay, for what? What was it for?
I was trying like trading technically.
Oh goodness, you gotta teach me about that. I'm trying to make money. We'll talk about this.
Yeah, we'll talk about
I don't. We don't want to get financial advice on the Patty Show yet because I don't want to get sued.
Oh yeah.
Later.
Later, okay.
But crypto good though.
Yeah.
Wow,
we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, and I've been technically I started acting when I was a baby in Indonesia.
Oh my god.
And when I was 13 years old. And then in America, it's been 5 years.
Oh my goodness, 5 years.
To do all acting and stuff. And I try to learn a lot of dance movement because I want to be an actor that also have another skill.
Oh, I love that.
And stuff. And I'm trying to learn like Spanish, Portuguese, and I'm trying to learn how to play guitar. I don't know. I want to learn everything. So
I love that.
I go audition, I have like, I have this skill.
All the versatility. It helps a lot with the commercial acting, to be honest. Just having all the different skills and everything. Yeah. That's a number one tip right there. But you said you did a lot of acting in Indonesia too?
Yeah.
So you were born and raised there? What's that whole background? Walk me through it.
Oh yeah. So I was born in Indonesia.
Yeah. Woo. Indonesia.
And I moved here when I was 21.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So yeah, it was cool. So like I experienced entertainment in Indonesia and experienced it in here. And when I moved here, I realized I still in love with acting, still love the industry.
Yeah, that's
awesome. So I keep pursuing it.
Oh, that's awesome. And what part of Indonesia were you at exactly?
It's Bandung and Jakarta.
Oh, Bandung, Jakarta. If y'all don't know, now you know. Everyone just only knows Bali. I love Bali, but Bandung, Jakarta, shout out to them over there. Everyone over there. Your family's fully Indonesian or?
I have Portuguese and a little bit of Dutch.
Okay. She's mixed. We love the mix. We're over here. The Indo mix over
The
here.
Indo mix, but mostly Indonesian.
Mostly, yeah.
Mostly Indonesian.
Indonesian princess.
Yeah.
Thank you again. Thank you again.
Thank
Of
you.
course. See, look at that. You gotta have it for the culture, y'all. For the culture. But
Mhm.
how did we meet, by the way?
We met on that. We filmed a commercial, like a car commercial.
Yes, very random.
Yeah, and I remember you approached me and like, oh, like, where are you from? I'm like, I'm Indonesian, and that's when we start like bonding.
Yeah,
Like, oh
no,
my
yeah,
god,
yeah,
we're
yeah.
Indonesian. So,
That's what I love about Indonesians, honestly. Like the
mhm,
second you find another Indonesian, especially in the U.S., because there's
mhm.
so little amount of us compared to like there's so many Vietnamese, Cambodian, all that.
Yeah,
But Indonesian, when you find it, it's family, like
I
automatically.
know.
Like
Especially like when we learn that, oh my god, we both really passionate on the industry. So we
yeah,
just like, oh my god,
we just
Indonesian
connected
in the
like that.
industry. Yeah,
I know that was such a beautiful moment because
yeah.
honestly, this is my flower section.
Flowers.
Flowers, flowers. One day we'll get the budget. Please, season 4, hook me up, man. Please,
Well,
please.
I will.
But I remember the first time I met you because that was actually I think my first like commercial shoot. I think I mentioned that to you because I moved to
Yes, yes.
LA last December, November. So I was still like a
Mhm,
baby in the industry, learning all the commercial
mhm.
acting stuff. This girl took me under her wing, gave me the whole crash course. I appreciate
Aw,
you for that.
I'm
Gave the good
glad.
energy. I
Mhm.
remember you mentioned this is the thing I always remember. I don't know if I can say it like ever, but what's that Scientology?
Oh,
I don't know if I can fully say it,
oh
but
yeah.
I always remember it now because you told me. Because
Uh,
okay, this is the context, y'all. So if you guys want to get into like commercial acting and the industry
mhm.
and stuff, there's a lot of postings on casting networks, all the
Yeah,
other programs. There's this one like what would you say like a casting thing from what's the name of the
like the golden something,
Golden something, right?
golden something.
I don't want to put them under the bus to be like, it might be good work,
Mhm.
but I remember you telling me how if you sign up, it's more for a different organization, let's say,
Yes.
so to speak. And you had experience with that where they kind of
Yeah,
convince you.
they tried to convince me to like at first it was like, oh, it's just an audition, but
Uh huh.
then I find out from people in entertainment like, oh, don't do that because once you signed up for it, and they'll try to reel you in,
Hmm.
kind of thing. So
Yeah, so it's kind of like picture it this way, like when people knock on the door is a Mormon, it's
yeah,
it's something like that, right? So, so yeah, a
yeah.
little comparison like that. No pressure, but
Hmm.
they kind of put you in a room and lock you, like Squid Game.
Excluding.
I was just watching Squid Game right now, season 2. That's why I'm just
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Okay.
it's not too bad. The first one's still a little bit better. But thank you again for coming. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
Another shout out to her, y'all. I haven't seen her in has it been a year almost?
probably a year something, year more than a year.
Yeah,
I
around
imagine.
a
Oh,
year
okay.
something plus, and the fact that we're still connected that's why I love the internet. Like I love rooting you on Instagram.
Oh,
I
thank
appreciate you giving me
you.
all the energy always whenever on the stories and everything. So you're killing it.
Oh,
So
thank you. You
grateful.
too.
Girl,
Always killing it.
girl.
Always.
Thank you, thank you. It's all that's the Indo pride, y'all. The
Indo
princess,
pride.
I'm trying to be the prince, you know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
you are.
Thank
You are Indo Prince.
all that stuff, y'all. But thank you again for coming on today. And we got
Mm-hmm.
a lot of fun to talk about today. We're talking about positivity, y'all. Let's
Mm-hmm.
kick it off with the first talking points. All right. So, talking point number 1. Before we talk about, positivity, we gotta unfortunately talk about negativity because that's part of the whole
Mm-hmm.
equation. Equation. I sound so Asian saying that. Our parents will be proud. Yeah,
Yes.
the math. I know for real.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Come on, parents.
Rightfully, please. I know
Yeah.
the 5 years is.
Oh my.
Oh my goodness. Breaking negative patterns. Okay, that's
Mm-hmm.
our first talking point. Uh, I just wanted to ask you, what triggers negative thought patterns, and how can we shift it to more a positive thought pattern?
I think, in my opinion, it's more like self doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then comparison, like you compare yourself to other people, especially with like social media. You see
Absolutely.
like a lot of people always posting like, oh, I did this, I did that, and then you look at yourself and like, what am I doing with my life?
Mm,
Like, you always feel like you're never enough, doing enough, and I feel like that's the root of negative thinking. You feel like you it's just never enough what you're doing, and yeah, and comparing yourself, and you start to like doubting yourself. Did I
mm-hmm.
do enough for myself?
No,
So
yeah, I'm glad that you pointed out the comparison. You know
mhm.
that I think it's like a quote. I don't know where it's from, to be honest, but like comparison is the thief of joy
Yeah.
or something like that. That's self-doubt. Honestly, it's especially in the industry we're in. I don't know how you said 5 years you've been in the industry,
Yeah.
like consistently, something like that. And
Mm-hmm.
you were in the industry before COVID too, also, right?
Yeah.
How has that been different, like before COVID, during, and then
Mm.
like after, when it comes to like whole social media and everything like that? How's that all different?
It's different with technically before COVID, it's not as strict. And during COVID, we have to like have COVID tests before we
Mm-hmm.
go to on set. We have to stay 6 feet apart.
Oh
We
my
always
god.
have to wear masks. And there's some production that you have to have
Oh my
vaccinations
goodness.
and stuff like that. So it's more harder. And usually before COVID, you can go audition in person.
Mm-hmm.
But um, during COVID, it's only through Zoom. Now it's back again, back like kind of back to normal. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can audition in person and stuff. And now I feel like they're not as strict during COVID, but they still strict. They still want some of the production still
Mm-hmm.
want you to take precautions and stuff like that.
Wow, that's crazy. So they had like that's so imagine if you're like how we did our background y'all for the
Hmm.
car commercial, shout out. You can find us in what was it, Hyundai, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, it's for like 2 seconds. It's like I think our
I know, just like
yeah, it's just like a quick thing. It was funny though because I only knew it got released because my friends told me it was like airing during the NBA finals. So
mm.
we're over there. Shout out to
Oh
them.
yeah,
Yeah, you
shout
know
out
what
to
I'm
that
saying.
car.
I know. Shout out to that car. I know that
Yeah, I
the
don't know.
whole yeah. The whole shooting process of that is so funny. We literally just do the same thing, like 50
Yeah,
takes, like good
just
thing.
like
Yeah, just
really quick.
just huh.
I know.
Yeah, it's it's such a funny world. But when it came to the COVID time, how did they do commercials like that? Because we were like basically all next to each other. How can
Yeah.
they record something like that? Then that's kind of funny.
Yeah, so technically before the day before, usually they're gonna test you
Mm-hmm.
if you have COVID or not. And if you clear, they'll bring you to set, but you still have to wear a mask if they're not rolling. And then
Oh,
they test you again in the morning
oh my
to
God.
make sure that you're clear.
Oh goodness.
And if they are cut, you have to wear the mask. If they are rolling, you have to take it out. So yeah,
Of course. Oh my God.
it's a lot.
That must have
So
been a headache, but that shows your persistence and you
thank
you really loved it. That's crazy. I can't because yeah, that's a and also I'm now I'm having flashbacks to like the COVID time with the
you. Mhm.
whole mask and everything. I'm so glad we don't have the mask anymore
I know.
because it feels just better to be honest.
That's
Like
right. Yeah,
right,
it's
it's
better.
more freeing honestly. No, that's crazy. So
Mm.
during COVID also like when it came to the social media, do you think it was worse when it comes to the comparison, or is it you think it's worse now with like the whole like self doubt? I know you mentioned the whole
Yeah.
self doubt in the industry. Do you think it's worse before or worse right now?
I feel like in a way it's worse now in
Mm.
the because when on COVID, I guess everybody's home and like like oh we're all in this
Yeah,
together. But
yeah.
then I feel like I don't know, maybe it's just me, but the social media now it feels like kind of like I feel like people try to show their best, like, oh, I do this, I do
Mm-hmm.
that, I do that, which is good for them. But then sometimes, as somebody else that watching it, it
Uh huh.
can feel like, oh, I didn't do what she did
Absolutely.
and stuff, and sometimes make me feel like, oh man, like maybe I should do more like her or
Yeah.
like him, or she accomplished that. Maybe I
Mm-hmm.
should try my best to accomplish that too.
I know.
And
I think it can
so,
be really bad when you're on Instagram in the middle of the night.
oh
You
yeah,
see everybody like, "Wow, I just booked this new role." And then you're like in your underwear,
yeah, you're like,
eating cereal.
like
You know?
people at the gym and like,
Yeah,
oh,
for real.
I have 200 gram of protein and I was in the gym for five
Yeah.
hours
I'm
and you're
like,
like,
man, I'm just eating Indomie. You know what I'm saying?
I know, I know.
Shout out Indomie. Sponsor
I know.
us, please. Indomie.
Please, that would
Indomie,
be great.
Celeraku. What is that? Isn't that the commercial?
Yeah.
Indomie, Celeraku.
Soleraku.
Please don't copyright us, but sponsor the package.
Sponsor that.
Please,
Sponsor.
please,
Yes,
please.
please.
I know.
Would be perfect.
I think it's really hard though, because now when I think about it, like posting on social media is cool because like you said it's a highlight reel. You
Mm-hmm.
want to share it to family, mom, parents, family, all that stuff, friends.
Yeah.
But it is hard because it is just like a snapshot. No one posts like, yeah, so I lost my job.
Yeah, nobody posts their, sad story
Yeah,
and
the
stuff.
vulnerable when like the dog pees on the floor and all. Cody. No, no, he just
Cody.
did that. Cody, he's chilling right now. But how do you try to stay optimistic then when like you see all that stuff? Is there like any tactics that you like to share
Mm.
or that you kind of implement in your day to day life?
Yeah, I try my best to like know that um I'm not letting it affect me in
Mm.
that way. I try to learn to like if they can do it, that's mean I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, I like that.
I'm always happy for other people, and I always implement it as like I'm not gonna make it as a competition, but at the
Mm,
same time I make it like if they can do it, I can do it. If they bless, I'm blessed too.
I love
Like,
that.
like yeah, like if other people can do it, that's mean I can do it.
I love that. I love that.
So
If you're blessed, I like that because it's also like that idea of the winner circle.
yeah.
When you see people win that you care about and they care
Mhm.
about you, it's like an infinite loop. You're like
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
rooting them,
Uh-huh.
you're getting rooted on, and it's just like it's such a good cycle. And honestly, I'm grateful we met because all the good vibes to you always.
Oh,
I
thank
love all the
you.
stuff
Same
that you do,
here. You
girl.
too,
I know.
always.
I see all the likes, girl. I appreciate it. I see all the dancing you've been doing. What is all that dancing, by the way? Is it like
Dancing?
you've done a lot? I've seen a lot of clips. I can't remember. There's like someone's with the heels and everything too.
Oh yeah.
Man, shout out all the girls that do it, y'all.
Thank
Maybe one day I'll try. It's too hard. My toes would fall off probably. So what kind of
Yeah.
dancing is that called
It
exactly?
was I do heels dance.
Okay, it's just called heels dance. What do they call it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So since I was little I love dancing because
Hmm.
I feel like it's my way of expressing myself.
Beautiful, beautiful.
But since I was little, technically I'm always feel like I'm more tomboyish.
Ah, oh,
And I
okay.
kind of like learned to be more embracing my femininity.
Mm,
And that's when I find out about heels dance. So it's more like feminine, and something about it is really empowering
mm,
because like a lot of women, a lot of girls, I mean, yeah, like a lot of them always feel like they always have to be like, like they're not comfortable in their
mm,
femininity. And me too, like there's a moment that I don't feel comfortable being too feminine.
mm-hmm.
And then learning how to do heels dance and everything, it make me feel like it's actually empowering to
Wow.
be really feminine, to be in my feminine side, to be more girly and stuff is feel empowering in its own way. That's how I like
Oh wow.
heel dance.
The heel. Wow.
Yeah.
Women empowerment. I love that. No, because you
Thank
guys,
you.
y'all killing it. Like the move. First of all, the moves alone without the heels is already hard. Now imagine, yo, and they're like what 6 inch heels or something.
I think so, yeah.
They're tall. I'm like,
Yeah.
I might need that. I need to be 6 foot too. You know what I'm saying? I'm barely 6 feet. I am barely 6 feet. That's so cool. I love how you're leaning towards it. That's why she's the Indonesian princess, y'all.
Indonesian princess.
It takes some time to embrace it, but you're embracing it. Thanks for sharing about that. So my next question to follow up on that, empowerment and positivity.
Mm-hmm.
How do you recommend replacing the self doubt? Like we mentioned, with empowering affirmations. Anything that you tell yourself in the morning, afternoon, maybe at midnight or something like that. Any affirmations that you say?
We just learned today to like take it one step at a time.
Hmm.
Because I'm that type of person who easily overwhelmed too. Like I'm like, oh, this year I have to accomplish this and
Hmm.
this and this, and then it become overwhelmed. Like,
Absolutely.
oh my god, I have to do this today. Then I have to
Hmm.
do this. But then I learned. I just tried it in my. There's an app that I'll show it to
Oh,
you
please.
after.
Yes. Oh, yeah. You gotta show
Yeah,
me later. Show me later. Yeah.
yeah, like so I can like put like a reminder like, oh, today learn acting, or today go to the gym for 2 hours. So like, just like a little
Like
reminder.
checklist kind of thing.
Yeah, a checklist. So instead of trying to like, oh, I have to accomplish this by
Mm.
this year, I'm like, no, today I'm gonna accomplish this
Mm.
to make it a bigger picture. So it's like a big puzzle. So you just like put the puzzle together instead of stressing it on a bigger picture.
Wow.
Just focus on like the small part of it, which
Wow.
is day by day.
I love it. That's great advice for everyone, especially y'all with the New Year's resolutions. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
You know, this is coming out in February though, so but I hope you guys are still on the wagon with the New Year's resolutions. No, that's really good advice because people like to look at like the mountain and just look at the top,
yeah,
but sometimes it's good to just look at the little first step because once you
yeah.
get that momentum, it's just consistent stacking, stacking, stacking. Like I love
Mhm.
that you put those little reminders. I know for me too, my head is all over the place. I'm like, man, I need to get to 100 episodes on the podcast. I'm like, whoa, buddy, wait, Patty, let's take it one episode at a time,
Yeah.
or even half an episode at a time. Like it
Hmm.
just sometimes taking the step back is taking 20 steps forward. If that kind of
Yeah,
makes
I like
sense.
that. Yeah.
Getting a better picture of it, and that's honestly really great advice. You gotta send me that app later.
Yeah.
And then y'all better do it. Any
Mhm.
cool New Year's resolutions you want to share for this year?
Here, I actually wanna. I have a goal on like how many audition I wanna hit and stuff.
Ooh, how many we talking now this
Like
year?
maybe just for this month at least like 5. I wanna like go like 5 to
Nice.
10 audition per month
Okay, that's
and
awesome.
stuff. But I'm not gonna like force myself.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
don't wanna get frustrated if I don't hit
Absolutely.
it.
You don't want to do the suspicious auditions like we were
Oh,
talking. We don't want to,
I
no
don't
shade to
wanna.
them. Yeah. Ooh, we got,
Yeah.
yeah, you don't want to force it, of course.
Exactly.
No,
And the gym too. I wanna like try to hit the gym more and I guess focusing also on my mental health too and like
beautiful.
physical health to just like focus it because I feel like I didn't really hard on myself last
Hmm.
year. Like, oh my god, you didn't do this. Like I told you earlier,
Yeah,
like oh, I compare myself. I'm like, oh, I don't do that. But now I'm just like, I'm gonna try my best to do what I can do. And if I accomplish it, great. If I don't, it's okay.
yeah. I love that attitude. I think I've been also when I think about it, like since it's the new year now. It's crazy to say 2025, y'all. Wild time.
I
But I think it was a week ago, whatever. I didn't do the journaling, but I was more like meditative in that state of just not beating
Mhm.
myself up. Sometimes it's
Mhm.
good to just sit down, watch a TV show,
Yeah.
and enjoy yourself because especially like, because I was in New York visiting some family over there.
Mhm.
And you know how it is in New York. It's very go, 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 go. Everyone's walking fast,
Mhm.
business, this, that, this, and it gets stressful. It gets really stressful. So I think it's a good time. It's a reminder for y'all just to
Mhm.
take a breath and just enjoy life because also we're not gonna be young anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
We gotta enjoy life while we can and stay positive because there's a lot of too much negativity in the world, too much craziness. But
Mhm.
that's really great advice. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, of
I hope
course.
you accomplish all those goals. I know you will. 2025.
Thank
No,
you.
you. By the way, where's the Instagram that we can find you again? By the way.
On Instagram
Yeah, what's the
is
Instagram?
Amelia Heidy 23.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
23?
23. Yeah.
Well, is
Because my birthday is November 23rd,
oh,
so I'm
that's
like
cute.
Amelia
That's cute.
Amelia Heidy 23.
And then how do you spell it?
AMELIAHEIDY
AMELIAHEY.
and
Okay,
23.
awesome. Yeah, because you never know. We got some people from Estonia, Nigeria.
Ooh, oh yeah.
International audience. Shout out to y'all.
International
Shout out
audience.
to y'all.
Love
So
it.
we always have to spell stuff out. And y'all can
Mhm.
find us at Patty Show Podcast on Instagram, TikTok,
Mhm.
Facebook, Tinder. I mean, not Tinder. Maybe I need to find my
Tender.
wife.
Hey.
Hey, hook me up. Indonesian Princess. You know anybody that's looking for a
Will
prince?
do, will do. I'll check the
Oh,
list.
shout out to her. See, I told you she got my back. Sister got me.
Exactly, of course, of
2025. That's my
course.
goal.
Yeah, that's
No,
there you
dating
go.
show would be funny. I
That
don't.
would be fun. That would be fun, yes.
But then I'd probably get canceled on the dating show because yeah, I'd just be too wild. But our second talking points.
Mhm,
Enough about the dating shows.
mhm,
Building resilience. So we kind of talked about
mhm,
the positivity and everything, but let's focus on more like pushing it forward and just keeping that momentum going, like we were talking about.
mhm,
How does positivity impact resilience during challenging times for you?
mhm. For me, it's like realizing that beating myself up wouldn't help anything.
Mm,
And like you said earlier, you just let yourself watching TV, and and I feel like that's really important too. Like sometimes we all can be too hard on ourselves, and I feel like to build a resilience, you also have to like just sit back and try to take a rest,
Mm.
and then like just like sometimes for me, when I wake up and I don't feeling it, I feel like like what am I doing and stuff like that. I always just let myself like at least eat breakfast first, or
Yeah.
like wash my face and just like sit down, or just like watch something, and then I just give myself a time limit on it, like okay, it's been hours now, you can get up and start doing um what can what to do to help you move forward and stuff, because I think it's important to not give yourself a hard time, but keep pushing it in the way that telling yourself like, hey, okay, you take a rest, and then now it's time for you to move forward by maybe like what can help me
Mm-hmm.
today to make me for me to move forward. Oh, yeah, I need to like go to the gym or
Mm-hmm.
study or submit myself
Yeah.
and stuff, and maybe do one of those, one of the thing that it would push you to move forward after you take a rest for
Absolutely,
yourself.
that can serve you. Like learn to play guitar, or
So
like you
yeah,
said, learn What are you trying to learn? Spanish, Portuguese?
Spanish, yeah, Spanish and Portuguese.
Oh God,
Trying,
I'm trying to
trying.
relearn Spanish because I knew a little bit. I used to date a Puerto Rican girl. Shout out to her.
Really?
So I knew some Spanish, and I
Uh,
love the music, but it's hard. I'm not gonna lie to you.
oh, you learn
Uh,
music?
a little bit, a little bit
Oh,
of the dance. I
uh,
did a bachata thing when I was in
you know
Boston.
bachata.
Of course, see, a little
Nice.
bit of dancing,
A little bit of.
Yeah, because I was in a Latin dance club in college.
Oh,
Right? Shout out
nice.
to Wepa. I love y'all. It was so hard. I'm not gonna lie, because they're so fluid. The vibes are
Yeah.
immaculate. I'm going to Mexico soon for my friend's wedding, so that's
Oh,
why I hope the Spanish will help a little.
have fun. Do a lot
Thank
of
you,
dance.
thank you. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try not to drink too much too, and enjoy, not too much pleasure. But I like how you mentioned the whole like sometimes you have to take a pause to
Yeah.
press forward, because especially I like that thing with the whole like breakfast thing. I was gonna say it in Indonesian, but like like sarapan dulu, like
Oh yeah.
the parents are like literally like makan
Sarapan
dulu, eat
dulu.
first,
Yeah.
eat breakfast first, like before anything. Udah
Mm.
makan belum? Like you ate already? That's such
Mhm.
an Indo thing. Like when I went back
I
home,
know. Yeah.
that's why I can never lose weight. You know what I'm saying? Like they're always like, "You ate already? You ate already?" I'm like, "Bro, I just woke up.
Bro, I just woke up.
I just woke up."
Relax.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
it's all good intention, and that's honestly a good reminder and that's something we should implement in our
Mhm.
busy lives, especially in entertainment or whatever industry that anyone's in, like in the 9 to 5 and
Mhm.
or whatever it might be, because like we were talking about earlier, it's always go go go.
Mhm.
Social media has a big impact of that, because we
Yeah.
see our friends and people that like our colleagues or people that are like acquaintances, like doing all this amazing thing,
Mhm.
getting married.
I
Oh,
know.
that's
Having
another thing.
kids,
Oh girl,
everything, and
I
you
know.
sit there like, oh,
You're like,
me with my chips.
yeah.
It's like,
Me with my dog.
yes.
Love you, Cody.
Yeah.
You know. I think that's the biggest pressure. I know during the holidays that was me. Like, oh, where's your girlfriend? Or like,
Yeah.
where's your kid? I'm like,
But
damn.
they always gotta do that. They're like, "Where's your girlfriend? When are you guys gonna get married? When are you gonna have kids? When are your kids gonna have kids?" It's like, slow down,
I
slow down.
Amen. Slow down to That's so true. There's always gonna be
Yeah,
something else. So don't it's obviously easier said than done, because
yeah,
in the moment I'm like I'm trying to figure out an answer to it, but there's always gonna be like tanta or like aunts and uncles are gonna be like, is always the next step. You could literally be
yeah,
married with two kids already, and there's like,
mm,
oh, when you get in a house, and then you're
yeah.
like, bro, what else?
When are you
Like,
gonna have a second
yeah,
house?
for real.
Yeah.
There's always we love the Indonesians out there, but that's also why we're out here.
Mm.
When's the last time you went to Indo again? By the way, I forgot to ask.
11 years ago. I haven't gone back,
Damn.
sadly.
Don't worry,
Yeah.
we'll have a trip back there eventually. Let's go. Let's go.
Yes, we will. We
It'll be
will.
a fun time.
Mhm.
I don't think I've been to Bandung actually. When I think about it, I can't remember. I've been
Bandung.
to Jakarta. I went to school in Tangerang for a little bit.
Okay.
My mom's in Manado. She's from Manado.
Uh-huh.
Of course, Bali. We love Bali. Shout out to Bali. Love that.
Wow.
Miss that place. I went to Kalimantan because my uncle's a pastor in like the west area. It's so random.
Oh,
Whole lot of pastors, girl. But I'm not a
yeah.
pastor. But
My grandpa is a pastor.
shout out, Opa. We love you. We love you. We love all my
I
grandpa
love all
too.
the
Yeah.
pastors. I
Oh my god, we love all of them. Couldn't be us. We're trying to be
Couldn't be
entertainment. Yeah,
us.
we're trying to be an entertainment.
Mhm.
Trying to entertain the world. But that's so funny. That's so funny.
A
But that's how we stay resilient, y'all. A lot of prayers,
lot of prayers for
a lot of patience, and prayers in this.
Mhm.
Thanks for sharing on
A lot
that.
of resilience.
A lot of resilience. A lot of resilience.
Yeah.
To follow up that question, I also have this other one. What gratitude practices can foster long-term positivity for you?
Ooh, for me, is I read this book called Secret.
Secret. Okay.
Yeah. And it says that keep being thankful, and sometimes it's so hard. Like we live in this world to be like showing gratitude, but I learned for me, um even though I'm like, I'm not like fully Christian or something like
Mm-hmm.
that, I'm still praying, and I try my best to still like thank you God for waking me up, thank you for the blessing that about to come, and I'm always just say thank you even to like the universe, to God, to
Mm-hmm.
like just everything that I see. I was just
Wow.
like, I'm thankful for this, even though like it's a bad day. I'm trying my best to like I'm thankful that I'm still here.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just like keep telling myself to be thankful, even though I don't feel it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I learned it that you have to teach your emotion, because it's hard to control emotion. So you have to tell your emotion that like, um, yeah, it sucks, but thank God, thank you that this happened. Thank you that I'm still able to do this and that. So it's hard, but then it's kind of like teaching yourself not to let your emotion get the best of you,
Absolutely.
and not letting your emotion to make you just like, just not being resilient, and you to just like
Mm.
sit with it, but just like trying to discipline. I think as part of it too, to be a resilience, you have to have the discipline to
I
keep
like that
telling
discipline. Mhm.
yourself like, hey, no, you have to be, no, hey, no, be thankful. It sucks, but you have to be thankful for the blessings and all the good things that about to come.
Wow, I love that. I
Yeah.
love how no, that's really good. You gotta send me all these book recommendations. I'm starting to read again now, so trying to have more time for
Oh,
that. But no, that's really good advice because just having the repetitions of being grateful, being thankful for, like you mentioned, like all the little things. Like I'm grateful we have a roof over our head, patio show. You know, what I'm saying studio audience too. Woo!
yay!
Thank you, studio audience. See, they
No,
and then Cody, oh,
Cody.
he's knocked out. My boy is.
Oh.
He's gonna take a nap. But yeah, finding the little things that you're grateful for, like we have fresh water, we
Mhm.
have light. The lights are turned on. Paid the bills.
Yeah.
Thankfully, camera,
Yeah.
good friendship.
Mhm.
It's such a beautiful thing. I'm thinking about even like the simple things, just being us, able-bodied kind of thing. I
Mhm.
think I mentioned this for one of my other episodes, but when I was in New York, I was, like walking around a lot more. And girl,
Mhm.
I was tired. I can't lie to you. My backpack, I had two laptops because of
Oh.
the work laptop, other like snacks and all this other stuff. I'm like, man, I can take
Oh
these
god.
stairs,
And all the
everything.
subways.
Yeah, oh
Oh.
my god. And then I'm like, oh, why is there a delay? My back is killing me, whatever. But then I think
Mm,
I'm being intentional. That's another key thing. Being
mm.
intentional of the gratitude. I'm like, wow, the fact that I can stand is one thing. I can
Yeah.
stand. That's a blessing. Thank you,
Mhm.
God. Thank you, whatever anyone believes in.
Mhm.
Because I'm also in that path where I'm like, believe in God too. Don't really go to church like that, but grateful, Christ, all that
Mhm.
stuff. But like that, being able to pursue my passions, doing entertainment, having this
Yeah.
podcast and everything, having good friends that are
Mm.
willing. And again, thank you again for coming again.
Of course.
But like all those that gratitude, it's a powerful thing, and it also connects with, like you said, discipline.
Yeah.
I love that word discipline too, because people get scared of the word discipline because I think of you ever did pramuka?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Woo! The trauma, the trauma, the
Trauma.
trauma, trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do we
Yeah.
describe pramuka to people?
It's like what, like kids military?
It's torture. No, no,
It's torture.
it's torture, guy.
Mm.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, yeah,
Like not as intense as military, but in a way that like, yeah, like
yeah.
what a,
It's
yeah,
like the Boy Scout, Girl Scout, but times 20,
times.
and
Oh yeah, good,
yeah,
good.
and more serious, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, in Indonesia, we'd have to wear like this brown outfit, oh my god, doing like the yeah, all the oh my god,
Mhm.
yeah, chills. But a lesson that I still take because of maybe some trauma, but a
Mhm.
lot of it was teaching us about discipline. You know, like
Yeah.
doing the same thing even if it's super hot, almost 90, almost
Mhm.
100 degrees, you're sweating, and 4 in the afternoon when it's peak heat, you have to
Yeah.
stay still in
I
this
know.
during the upacara, the what is it called in English?
Yeah.
I don't even know what it's
Me
called. The
too.
assembly, not really a kind of an assembly, but like,
Oh,
well, essentially people are lined up and then there's the flag.
yeah.
So I don't know what it is in
Do
English.
you get to do the flag too
Oh yeah, yeah,
when
of
you have to?
of course, the flag one,
Oh my
yeah.
god.
But yeah, so it teaches a lot about discipline, being consistent, because well,
Mhm.
externally, if you don't stand up straight, let's just say there's some
I
punishments.
know. Oh my
Not a good
god.
p word, not positive. Positive.
If you miss the walk, cause you have to like. For me, I get yeah, we get punishment like you do 7 instead of 8
Oh,
steps. I was
girl,
like,
you
oh,
got my heart is racing right now. I remember.
the
And
trauma.
yeah, I know the
Oh
trauma's come back
god.
now. It was bad for me too because I did it when I went to school there 7th and 8th grade. So
Mhm.
SMP, middle school is probably one of the rough transitions, puberty.
Mhm.
And back then I didn't know any Indo at all. I was still learning because I just came back from the States.
Uh-huh.
So I was like so confused. I barely knew my number. So when they said like Tujulapan, I was like, oh man, what is? Oh man, I
Oh
started sweating bullets. It was oh my god, so much fun. But shout out to all the
no. Mhm.
teachers and everybody
Yeah.
over there.
Thank you
We
for
for
teaching
being
us.
for traumatize. I mean, teaching
For
us,
us teaching.
traumatizing
Teach
us.
trauma, yeah.
But yeah, it's so funny now though, because like now in hindsight, I'm grateful we had those experiences
Yeah.
because we have some baseline of like the what is it called, the discipline.
Mhm.
Because honestly, the I sound so old saying this, but the kids these generation,
Kids.
these kids nowadays, TikTok kids,
The
there's like no
TikTok kids.
discipline. Like they don't really do these type of activities, especially in the Western society. Like in
Mhm.
my sister, because she was born in the States, but she went to school in Indo for hold on, let's see, from like kindergarten till 6th grade, I think.
Mhm.
And now she's like in high school. She's gonna be a senior. It's crazy.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
she's grown up. She's like my little baby, that girl. But it's just different. Like the whole vibe and aura of
Mhm.
it. The discipline is completely different. Like
Yeah.
kids in the States, you could like yell back at your teacher and
Oh, I
have a
know.
debate, right?
Oh yeah, in
And
our niche back then, if you debate your teacher, oh my god, you talk back to us? Talk back? How dare you?
how dare you? And let's just say, I mean, thankfully, my generation they didn't get too physical. Taking on this. I don't know.
For me, it got physical. They just
Woo,
with the
the
what is it, the ruler
oh
or
yeah, the
something?
pangaris,
Pagaris.
the ruler. Yeah,
Ruler,
yeah.
yeah. They
Oh
just
god,
like
yeah. And I can't imagine our parents. They were telling us stories about it. The discipline.
yeah. Oh my god,
Maybe
yeah.
that's we
Or
don't
them.
yeah, yeah, we don't condone physical abuse, especially to children, y'all.
Mhm.
But cryptocurrency though we do. Well, we'll get canceled eventually. But yeah, no, that's it's definitely a different time. I think there should be some balance, whatever,
Mhm.
with that stuff. But in hindsight, like I mentioned, discipline I think is a really key element, especially. And it's funny enough that like the industry we're in is in like entertainment,
Mhm.
art. It's very fluid, right? But
Mhm.
honestly, having discipline is so key, and having a schedule.
Yeah.
Because like if you don't have that schedule, you could. I mean, obviously the industry is like always up and down and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But the problem is when you're not ready for the moment, you have to be ready.
Yeah, I learned a lot from that because there's a time that I got the audition
Mm-hmm.
and I realized I was not ready, and I look back and I'm like, oh my god, only if I actually that time practice this, doing
Mm-hmm.
this, I probably already ready for that opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I learned. I read the book from the Fun Franklin.
Yeah.
He talk about like sometimes, especially as an
Mm-hmm.
actress, and then people in entertainment, because we waiting for the next
Mm-hmm.
gig.
Yeah.
We just to focus on that instead of doing what we can do today, right now, to prepare for that opportunity. Sometimes we to focus on like what we're not doing,
Uh
or
huh.
what other people doing, instead of preparing for that opportunity. And I learned that in the hard way when I get it, and I was like, man, if I practice that one thing, if I did that
Mm-hmm.
one thing,
It'd be different.
probably I would do this job really greatly,
Yeah,
but
different outcome kind of thing.
yeah, but I didn't practice. I didn't do this and that. So
Well,
yeah.
that's a lesson, y'all. That's definitely I definitely feel that too, where you're like you're thinking 50 steps ahead when we
Hmm.
should be thinking, all right, what can we do today? What can we do at this moment? You know, whatever that is. Maybe learn guitar, a little Spanish, maybe Portuguese, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Do it today because you never know when that opportunity pops up, and you'll be ready because you know you did like with the discipline. You got the reps in. You've been
Yeah.
practicing. You've been doing all this stuff because the moment is gonna come before you even know it. Honestly,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
so fast. This industry is so quick. You never know what you're gonna find. Like for example, like the game show that I did, I found that on Craigslist. You know,
On Craigslist?
yeah. Shout out to Craigslist.
Shout out to Craigslist. Oh my
I
god.
swear it was the randomest thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't even know. I'm still processing it still. So shout out to everyone that was supporting me. But it was like I'm glad I was ready in that moment because
Oh my
it was
god.
just a lot of like stuff happening. It was like, you know, the early, it was like a 12,
Mhm.
14 hour shoot kind of thing,
Oh
2 days.
wow.
You know how it is with the
Yeah.
luckily our shoot was only like a couple hours or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for our
Oh, for
commercial
the
one. Yeah, for our
commercial.
commercial one. Because it
Okay.
was supposed to be like longer, I think, right? For
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be 12, but
oh
ended
yeah.
up just 8.
Yeah, something shorter. I know that.
Yeah.
The food was good though. I don't even know. It
Oh, I
was,
know, yeah.
I took some home.
Oh yeah.
That's the Indo
The
way.
steak.
Yeah, everything, girl. I took all the snacks home. I was like,
I
give me
know, the
that.
crafty,
Oh
so
my goodness,
good.
that's the best. I felt like a kid. Well, what
Yeah.
is all this? It's so cool seeing all that stuff. The whole if y'all haven't done like commercials and all that stuff, take advantage.
Oh, the food, yes.
Please. You won't be hungry for a week, I'll tell you that. Bring it to the
I
roommates.
know.
They will love you
Like
forever.
bring
Oh
Tupperware?
yeah. Did you bring Tupperware?
No, I
Oh, I was gonna
didn't,
say, I
but
forgot. So yeah, I think you told me to bring that. Now I'll bring that now. Or like Ziploc bags.
oh, yes, the block bag.
Yeah.
Come in
That's
handy.
yeah, that's a tip right there. Bring
Yeah.
whenever y'all have a shoot, even if it could be 2 hours, 12 hours, it doesn't matter. Bring a Ziploc bag, bring
Mhm.
two, bring like some Tupperware because there's always gonna be leftovers. They
Yeah.
always like overshoot, which is a good thing because one day we'll have it for the patty show. Sorry, one day we'll have extra snacks.
I don't know,
When the
so
budget goes up, season 4 maybe. ABC, NBC, all that stuff. Speaking
mhm,
of NBC though, I
mm.
did see you were doing a lot of like consistent work with what show was it?
Oh, Lopez versus
Yes. Oh my
Lopez.
God, I love that for
Ah,
you. So
thank
what
you.
were you doing for that exactly, by the way?
It's interesting. I
I love that. It's interesting.
it's interesting. I don't know if I can
Oh, she has NDA.
say
Yeah, sorry. So, shout out NDAs. I had to do that for the Amazon.
but
NDAs are weird, but
one other thing that I did is I did a lot of different things there. One of the thing I'll tell you
okay.
without the cameras.
Oh, without the camera. Okay, okay.
The
NDA,
with the
NDA, please.
mic.
Sup, 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 sup. But
But the other is standing in and just laugh. And what is it called?
live audience. Oh,
Background.
background,
Background. I was
background.
like
Yes.
background. Yeah, I was doing background and standing in just for like a little bit.
Okay. And
And
standing in for people that don't know, what is that exactly?
oh, standing in. So before the actor come in, the camera need to practice as like the camera need to see where the actor gonna go,
Okay.
where the actor gonna sit, and the mic to check the mic and everything. So we have to a lot of set that I have to standing in for. Like I have to read the lines for the actor, and I have to like sit where the actor sits, so the camera can see how they want the camera lens to the filter or like
Mm,
where they want to shoot it from, what's the best angle,
okay.
so the actor can have time to practice the line or anything while they see what they want from the
Oh,
shoot.
awesome.
Yeah.
So it's essentially like just testing out, okay, Amelia, you're going to be here, but
Hmm.
Patty, you want to be the stand in. So while you're doing the lines, I'm going to be like
Uh-huh.
posing, done, done, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so usually when they do the stand in, do they have to look like that actor, actress, or not at all?
Sometimes they just want to like have the same hair color
Okay, okay.
most of the time, or like they just like same shirt
Okay, okay,
and
just to make
stuff
it
like
simple, yeah, okay, good.
yeah.
So I can just let my hair out then. No, imagine they're like, yeah, we might have to switch the heights. Maybe I'll
Mhm.
borrow reverse heels.
Reverse.
So we have be on
Mhm.
the same line. That's really cool. So the stand and stuff, and then the background acting for the people that don't know, what's that all about?
Background is just like, the one that I did was like we're in the restaurant, so just like people in the restaurant, it's like bar
Okay,
patrons and stuff, or like um, dancers or
Okay.
like yeah, like stuff like that. It was fun. It was fun.
So you just pretend like you're cutting a steak or like
Yeah,
eating
pretend
or
like
something.
I'm eating in the
Yeah, yeah,
back or like talking when I'm just like, didn't say anything. It's
yeah.
like,
So
like
you're right, just to keep it
yeah,
realistic.
just
No, I know exactly. Yeah, just keep it realistic, kind of thing. That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, no, the background thing is it's so interesting because it's similar to like when we did our commercial where we're just like turn our
Mhm.
head. That's it. It's just like the simple movements.
Mhm.
Gets a little repetitive. Can't even lie,
Yeah,
but
it's really repetitive.
very repetitive, y'all. Especially if you do a full like 12-hour
I know.
shoot. Oh my god.
Especially if they meet from a different angle and you're just like, oh my god, doing it again, doing
I
it
know,
again.
doing it again. At that point, you're like, I never want to go to a diner in my, like that,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. But how do you keep having that passion then when you have those like long hour shoots? Any advice for any actors out there that are doing like those
Mhm.
long shoots, background work, and all that other stuff? Any advice for that to stay passionate?
For me, to be really honest with you, when I do background,
Mm-hmm.
it does because it's like a long hours and you just in the background. It does make me feel like, man, like I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just like in the background and stuff like that. But then I try to stay positive by like notice my learning moment
Mm,
because in our life there's always like when we when we're in the back, when we're in the front, and that's how, especially in entertainment, you never always gonna be the main character. You're never gonna always the side character. You're
mm-hmm.
never gonna always be background. So I'm just like taking in the moment of like like I'm doing this. I'm grateful. Free food,
Shout
and
out free
then
food, yeah.
exactly, and I still can learn, especially doing background. I can just focus on what the actor doing
Wow.
and stuff, and I'm just like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna learn. And then when I do principal work,
Uh
it's
huh.
like um, having my dialogue and character. Then I can just be well. When I'm just doing acting while I'm principal,
Yeah.
I'm more passionate about it. I'm more like excited about
Of
it.
course, yeah.
Um, but then yeah, when it's cut gets repetitive, it does get kind of like, oh my god. But then like I just keep it in my mind that like, hey, like this is what you've been
Mm,
working for. This is what you here for,
absolutely.
And yeah, that's how I try to stay positive.
I love that. So it goes back to the whole gratitude thing, like I love how you pointed that out when like those moments when we're doing the stuff that we love, like
Mhm.
being the principal, the main role, the whatever that
Mhm.
is. And when it is tiring, because it is tiring, like even this podcast, I love y'all, but some days, you're tired. But then also
Mhm.
it's like the whole thing, you're like, you've been praying for this, you've
Yeah.
been asking for this, here it is,
Mhm.
and to keep the emotions in check with, and that's why it goes with the discipline as well, the
Mhm.
whole staying composed while you're because we're all emotional creatures, especially as
Yeah.
entertainers.
I
I
know.
can tell you that much. And Indonesians.
Indonesian.
Indonesians are very emotional. We love y'all, but
It's
very
like 'cause
passionate.
for me, I've met a lot of Indonesian that are more cold.
Really?
Yeah, they instead of emotional, they just like I would like love you, and they were like, mhm. It's like,
That's so funny. I know exactly what you mean. Like, there's some that's just like there's like no in between. It's either
yeah,
like,
they either really cold or like really lovey dovey.
yeah, it's so, yeah, like the super extra, like, hey, oh
Emotional,
my god, like
yeah,
that. And then there's some that's like like your uncle, like the you know what I'm saying? Like an uncle's like
yeah.
that's it, just stone cold kind of
I
thing.
know. It's like no
He's
emotions.
like no emotions. I don't know. Yeah. They're
Yeah,
probably not in the industry. That's probably
yeah, yeah. The
that's a,
industry is
yeah. It's different vibe, different vibe.
yeah.
But yeah, having that like emotional intelligence and like we mentioned earlier, this taking that step back and just
Mhm.
being grateful for every opportunity. I like how you mentioned when even when you're doing like background work, you're absorbing what they're doing in the like the principal actors and everything because
Mhm.
that's I love how you mentioned it's a lesson. It's a learning. It's time. If you think of it as a time of learning and not just, oh man, don't be depressed. Like, oh my God, I'm not, I should be the lead. I know the line's better than which
Yeah.
sometimes we do. No shade.
No
No
shade,
shade. No
no.
shade. Don't cancel us yet. But it's like a good lesson. I think about
Mhm.
it like when I was in the game show thing, I was also in the audience for, it's crazy because
Mhm.
the whole thing was so crazy because everyone in the audience had a list, so not
Mhm.
everyone was guaranteed to play. So most days I was just yeah, 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 yeah. Girl, I was almost tired of clapping till my
Mhm.
arms were falling off. But it was so cool to see like Nick Cannon because there's someone I look up to, and
Oh, okay.
I kind of want to emulate his career. Like
Mhm.
host a lot of shows, be super successful, do all this different stuff. He
I can
has like
see
the
you doing that. I can see you like,
she's the best. She's the best.
the next Nick Cannon or
Girl,
like, yeah,
appreciate you, appreciate you.
of
I'll pay
course.
you later. I mean,
Like,
I'll pay. But yeah, obviously with not all the baby mamas because he has a lot of.
oh
He
yeah, the
got too
baby
many. He
mamas.
got
Oh my
too.
god.
We don't want Patty Cannon to be.
Patty
There's
Cannon.
already too many Indonesians. Was it fourth most populated country in the
Really?
world? I think so, fourth or
Oh
fifth.
wow.
So we can't be the third now.
We
So
can be a third.
so I'm not gonna
Mhm.
do that. But yeah, just seeing him like lock in, working with the teleprompter and doing all the
Mhm.
different like intricate stuff. It made me grateful, even though I was like super tired. It's like you mentioned, like I was telling God, like, man, I want to be in this world. This time last year, I
Mhm.
was not in Hollywood, And then the
Mhm.
moments where I'm tired and I'm like, oh, shouldn't be here. God's like, hey, man, you're the one that asked for this, right?
Yeah.
And then He gives it to you or whatever you believe in. They provide for you, and then you're
Mhm.
ungrateful. That's the moment when you have to wake up and be like, hey, man, I'm grateful. I'm
Mhm.
positive, and it helps a lot too having like good
Yeah.
people in your circle that are also positive.
Yeah.
And it kind of connects to this other talking point that we're talking about, spreading
Oh
positivity.
yeah. Mhm.
Spreading positivity. This is our third talking point, actually. Okay.
Okay.
My question for spreading positivity is, how can individual positivity influence those around us, our circle, so to speak?
Ooh. I think it's just like this, like your podcast. I think it's really good because
Yeah.
I feel like because I watched some of it and I was like this conversation. I feel like you never know like the person that gonna listen is like
That's true.
needed this,
Hmm.
and like your podcast, like the books that I read and everything, it's really, I think it's just like conversation really can help people to inspire each other to be like, hey, you're not alone. We're in this together.
Hmm.
Like you struggle with this, me too. Like it's okay. We're struggling this. We cry together.
We
We
gonna struggle
grind
together.
together. I know,
That's
struggle
right.
together.
Yeah, we gonna cry together. We gonna eat Indomie together. Woo, woo,
It's
woo,
like, oh
woo,
my
woo.
god, it's your
Yeah,
swag. You're just
Indomie
like,
or sotomi. Sotomi is my favorite too.
oh,
The salt.
sodomy is. It's good.
I miss the Indonesian food. Is there any
Hmm.
good Indonesian restaurants you recommend?
Oh, there's this place. It's kind of far called Indo Bistro, I think.
I think I've heard of it. Where is it? It's in
For it's close to West Covina, if I'm not
Oh my
wrong.
god, that's kind of far, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one I know, the one in here, the is it Banana Bay, I think.
I can't remember which one I went to, but there were some good ones because I had a shoot where they had Indo food because it was
Mhm.
pretty good. But you got to tell me the name of that one event. What's the other one? West Covina?
Oh, the West Covina is Indo Bistro, the one that
Indo
close to
is okay.
West Covina, and the one in here that it's kind of far to Diamond Bar, I think.
Diamond Bar. Oof.
Yeah, it's close to Orange County,
Oh man,
but
OC. They all got all
Banana
the good.
Bay. I know they
They
always got
all got
good.
the good food there now.
Hmm.
Cause Indo food, I miss it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Gotta get that trip going.
Yeah,
But I appreciate the kind words and the positivity. I
of
think
course.
you highlighting that conversation part
Mhm.
is it's key. I mean, that's the reason why I have this podcast, not just because of the passion, because it's my reps. I'm practicing discipline too, because I'm
Mhm.
posting every week. I'm just practicing, being a host, presenter, all that stuff. But also because I just want to give the good vibes to people. Because, like you mentioned,
Yeah.
sometimes you just need to hear it. Sometimes you need
Mhm.
that like conversation, that like voice in your head while you're running. Sometimes
Mhm.
maybe listen to Patty Show while you're running. Or on the car, all that
Yeah,
stuff. We're on
exactly.
Spotify, Apple
Mhm.
Podcasts, all that stuff. Don't play YouTube.
Yeah.
OnlyFans. No, kidding. I'm kidding.
So
I'm kidding. Patreon, maybe one day we'll get to Patreon. That'll be good.
yeah.
But you never know because I've been really getting into podcasts too. Sometimes it's just nice to hear certain like positive words and like we mentioned like
Mhm.
the fact that there's other people struggling out there. Struggle is just part of life,
Yeah, it
and
is.
if you
Yes.
can frame struggle as just lessons like we were talking about earlier,
Mhm.
it's a beautiful thing because everything's going to be good vibes because
Yeah.
even if you're going through a low slump,
Mhm.
whatever it may be, there's going to be light at the end of the tunnel. I know it sounds cliche, y'all, but it's true, especially if you have a
Yeah.
circle of people supporting you, whether it's from social media. Like I said, we haven't seen each other in over a year,
I
but
know,
girl, I
right?
feel the constant support always.
Oh, of
That's what I
course.
love about social media. Obviously, we
Yeah.
talked about all the negatives, but there's a lot of positives too.
Yeah.
So stay locked in with all of your friends on social
Mhm.
media. DM them, message
DM
them.
them,
You know what I'm saying?
yes.
Just a little, even like the little heart. You know, I love how in the
Yeah.
stories they have like
So
the
you're
little.
like you can just like it and stuff.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that they added that, and even
Mhm.
like you know how when you look up someone's story, you can put the generic response,
Oh
like
yeah.
the clap,
The
you know,
clap,
the
true,
clap
true.
or the heart eyes or something like
Yeah.
that. So even like that, honestly,
Hmm.
show love to your friends, even if they're in entertainment, especially.
Oh yeah, especially
Please, please,
entertainment.
because you know more views makes better,
More
more
views.
money. You know.
Exactly.
Speaking of, you know, Patty Show podcast, let's get to 200 followers. Stop playing, y'all.
Hmm.
So keep following. But also even if they're not in entertainment, just having that little like clap emoji sending. I've been doing a lot of like what's it called? Voice memos.
Hmm.
I think those are really cool because first of all, I suck at typing.
Me too. Me
Yeah, you know,
too.
it just takes too long. And then whenever
Yeah.
I type, I'm like, actually, let me change it up. So I just might as well talk. I'm like, hey, I'm proud of you. Happy New Year, all that stuff. So much
Yeah.
easier because there's just
Oh,
a lot to do. But
it meant a lot, for people to just like hear, like, "Hey, I'm proud of you," and stuff. You're just like, "Okay, thank you." I think it's really important, and I like it every time people being vulnerable to me. It's really, and even though it's hard for me to be vulnerable sometimes to people, but every time I'm vulnerable to people, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm proud of you," because I know how hard it is, and it's like I see how their face light
mhm.
up, and like, oh my god, like just them and me too, knowing that we're not alone, we're in this together, and we all proud of each other. Just like, oh my
Yes.
god, look at you in your
Yeah, yeah.
podcast. So
Thank
it's
you,
just
girl.
like,
Appreciate
oh
you.
my god, it's always lift up people and stuff.
Absolutely. And that's the beauty of it. The proud bubble, the proud people. That's it. In a good
Yeah,
way. Pride in a good way. And it's just like contagious because it's like you give me the energy, I give it back. And it's just like you give the energy without expecting anything in return. It just
yeah.
comes. It just comes because especially if you're with good people, and it's hard to find people in Hollywood like that. You know, that's the T. But
Just,
that's the T. But I'm grateful we met and the good vibes are there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And I just
yeah.
have one final question to like wrap things up.
Mm-hmm.
What simple actions promote positivity in daily interactions?
Ooh, and daily
Yes.
interactions.
Any simple actions? We talked about a lot of good advice here, but any simple actions that you can kind of think about top of the head?
I think it's like go back again with the gratitude. I
Mm-hmm.
just like wake up and it's kind of like I every time I start thinking negatively, I told myself like not just the gratitude part, just to just like stop it because we're so as a human being we're so used to really like hard on ourselves like oh my god like look at you just woke up 10 a.m. or
Oh
something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
And I just learned to the simplest thing I can do to myself is just like do myself a favor to tell myself like, hey, you need to stop that.
Ooh,
Like,
you need
oh,
to stop. Ooh, just like in Pramuka. Oh no, no, no.
exactly, exactly.
Stop the teachers. No, no, no.
Exactly. Just like, take one step at a time. And
Mm,
then when that negativity come back, just like, you need to stop. Like, stop it. Like, can't think like that and stuff. Because there's a time in the day that is so hard to be positive.
yeah,
And even that
absolutely.
to just like, you start thinking negative and just like, no, no, stop it. Like, you don't deserve this. Just stop it. Like, just
Mm,
stop thinking negative. Like, yeah,
I like
just
that. I like that. You
talk
gotta.
back to yourself, something
Yes,
like that. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, you gotta be like, yo, stop. You know, do a
I know, like,
little,
stop,
little
stop
Two
it,
Face
stop it,
thing,
stop it.
some
Yeah.
Deadpool kind of thing. Also, random shout out, flowers. The Deadpool dance you did with the girl,
Oh, yeah, thank you.
girl,
Thank
the
you.
NSYNC, y'all gotta have her as a new member
I know,
because
please.
I saw that she was. I don't the bye bye bye. I was like,
Bye,
damn,
bye,
girl.
bye.
She still got it. One day we'll do the whole dance.
Oh,
She'll teach
yeah, we
me.
should, we should.
She'll teach me that eventually.
I will.
I'm not a good dancer, y'all. Please don't kill me like that. But no, that's amazing advice. I love that because a lot of people are gonna beat you up already. The world is gonna beat you up with all the craziness.
Hmm.
Let's not be the ones to beat ourselves up.
Yeah, exactly.
That's such great advice. Thank you for sharing for that. Any final words you just want to share to the audience? We talked about a lot of great stuff about gratitude, positivity, and all that
Mhm.
mindset. Anything you want to say to the audience?
Ooh, to just never stop giving up on yourself. Like, I know especially with discipline, with things that we do in our life, we keep doing in your eyes maybe it's the same thing, but
Mm,
trust me, it will add up to the
absolutely.
point that when that opportunity when it comes to you and you're ready for it, that's when the luck come in, like like, oh my god, like I've
Yes.
been, I've been practicing, I've been doing this, I've been um what is it, I've been disciplined on this
Mm-hmm.
for this moment, and that day will come. Like, I feel like if you just keep on believing on good things ahead of you, even though you can't see it, especially on the hard days, just remember that when if you're not giving up on yourself, because other people, like there's gonna be a time that they bring you down
Yeah, of course.
and just like not believe in you, but you just need to block it and just like, give yourself one step at a time,
Hmm.
knowing that even though one step is a step to move forward. So,
Wow,
so
y'all.
yeah.
Drop the mic, everybody. You see that
Drop a mic.
Indonesian princess? Don't play with her. Oh, that's
Thank you.
amazing advice.
Thank
Where can we
you.
find you again on socials and everything? It's
Oh,
at
on Instagram is at Amelia Heidy
mm-hmm,
23.
23. Don't forget November 23rd, the
Yeah,
birthday.
November
Oh, we
23rd. So
gonna celebrate. Damn, that's gonna fly by before you know it. It's 2026 at that point.
yeah. I know. It's like,
Woo!
oh wow.
I know for real, but I appreciate you. Thanks for sharing with
Oh,
her, being
thank you for having
vulnerable.
me.
Y'all follow her, support her. She's doing amazing things. Always supporting the podcast and everything. I appreciate you, bottom of my heart. Thanks for all the lessons, all the gratitude. Send me all
Oh,
those book recommendations
oh,
and
I will.
everything,
I will. Yeah.
please. And then tell me a little about that crypto stuff later. You know what
Oh
I'm saying?
yeah.
About that crypto stuff. But that was our
Yeah.
episode today, y'all. We're so grateful. Next episode is gonna be on passion. Remember, you can find us on Instagram at Patty Show Podcast, TikTok, Facebook, I believe.
Mhm.
Patreon, we're gonna get there eventually. But the website is pattyshow.podbean.com. And I got the personal website now, so it's
Right.
pattysetiati.com/podcast/fitness is for any online personal training or in-person personal
Okay.
training. So we're trying to lock in because acting inconsistent, so you gotta have a lot of jobs. that's
Yes.
why we're doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was the episode. So grateful. Thank you again so much. We're gonna end with a little terima kasih bow on three.
Oh.
Okay, no
Okay.
arigato today. We're doing terima kasih, y'all, if
Terima
y'all know.
kasih.
And then terima kasih and then cryptocurrency at the end. Alrighty. On three, 1, 2, 3.
Terima
Terima kasih
kasih.
cryptocurrency. Stop playing.
Thanks for joining me on this episode of The Patty Show. I hope you had as much fun as I did exploring the crossing point of the 3 Ps: passion, pleasure, and positivity. If you want to keep the Patty Party going, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and all social platforms at Patty Show Podcast. Share this episode and leave a positive review. PattySetiati.com/podcast as well as PattyShow.podbean.com have got more of your Patty Show needs. In the meantime, keep passionately pursuing your personal paradise. Arigato.